My friends, do I have a guest? Do I have a guest for you today? I am so honored when I get to meet people like my next guest, Michael, and the experience and the richness and all that they have to offer. So without further ado, Michael, will you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Francesca, thanks for having me on. Michael Mominey, Director of Athletics and Associate Vice President for Advancement at Southeastern University in the great state of Florida.
Wow, in the great state of Florida, as those of us who are in the Northeast are getting ready for an event, we won't talk about that. But my friend, and you're humble because you've been at this incredible institution for 21 and a half years. Is that right, Michael?
That is, I don't think about it that way, but when you said it, even in our preview, yeah, here I am. So 21 in my 21st year, I guess in my 22nd year, but sort of have been part of this university, this great university at Southeastern, and just been part of the growth. So humbled to be part of this great institution.
I love it. I love it because you get to work with, Michael, our future leaders. And it has to be so gratifying. And as a leader, I'm sure you have incredible leadership tips as well as stories. And yes, we did touch on that when we initially connected. And it's just harnessing all of this great information. So tell me a little bit about how you lead and what's worked for you in harnessing everyone's talent and potential to perform for your university.
Right. And I appreciate that. Right. So again, you heard the title, but I do believe, and I have the mindset as well as trying to build that in our culture that we're in higher education. Right. So we do have the privilege to be in higher education, even though we may be athletic director or coach. We get to work with young people every day. So I think you start there. And but what I would say is, first of all, there's no secret sauce, right? You need to find your own way, and which will lead into some of my comments here. I think you just have to find your way. And I'm not going to say 21 years ago as a baseball coach and then an athletic director about 2 years after that, I didn't maybe know my way, but I think along that path, you just have to continue to be yourself and find your own way. Of course, you want to learn from others, right? Because again, been around some great people. All of us will be able to point to, and I talked to a good friend of mine this morning whose birthday, it's his 83rd birthday, Joe Pineda, and call him out. But anyway, just that he helped me, and I want to thank him. So there's people that'll help you along, but find your own path and be you and find your own way. Because I think authenticity will resonate as a leader when you are trying to lead, an athletic department, or you're trying to lead, student athletes of that athletic department.
Yeah, authenticity. It is the key to success. And I love how you bring that up because it's when we feel and we lean into our true selves that we become our best selves. So thank you for sharing that. It's a wonderful, beautiful pillar, I think, in leadership. What else? What else or is there a story that lends itself best to this? And how can we unpack the incredible nature of this value that we have?
There's a lot of stories, right? Since there's been a lot of years. And again, I don't know if there's a secret sauce but I mean, I guess the bigger story I can tell, there's going to be a few aha moments, right? There's going to be this moment in time that and you'll know it when you know it, but you almost got to search for it, but let it happen organically. And I guess the story behind that is you never know where it's going to come from, right? You read the books, you go on the podcast, you go to leadership conferences. But one of my aha moments along my journey, what really came from my own staff, right? And executive staff, and which will lead to why I finally realized my aha moment was to be authentic, was to be a great leader. And, I didn't, maybe I did read that. Maybe I had a blind spot to that. But again, we see so much and you're trying to be passionate. But my story is when a trusted so the authenticity and the aha moments twofold. When I had a good friend, which I won't mention, but I'll give you his name to talk to him later. But he was, on my executive leadership team, and just he trusted himself enough, and I guess we had a trusting relationship both professionally and personally. We spent so much time together in athletics. He said to me, "Be vulnerable." So I stepped back and I said, "What do you mean? I mean, I'm not vulnerable. I mean, because I thought I was, but I really wasn't, right? Let people see you as yourself, as Mike Mominey, the husband of 28 years to my beautiful wife. Mike Mominey, the father. You're such a family man, but you never let people see that." Well, first of all, I have a lot of respect that somebody that can come in here that works for me would say that. So about 12, maybe 13 years ago, and that stuck with me, right? And I don't know if I responded in the moment, but today I remember that. So to me, my takeaway was be authentic, but be authentic. And part of being authentic is being vulnerable. Now that's not easy. You're a leader, I'm a leader, you've been in other worlds, and I've been in different roles, but people are scared of that, of that thought. What do you mean be vulnerable? And I'm not necessarily let them see you cry, but let them see you be emotional. Not that I want to get into what's been going on the last couple of years, but people need to feel that, and people see that. And then it turns to people respect that. And then respect, of course, and trust is the ultimate goal of a great, or should be the ultimate goal. And my experience tells me once you gain that, again, coach, athletic director, associate VP, once you gain that trust and respect, now you're leading.
I love that. I agree with you 100,000%. It's actually why I have this podcast, Michael, is that I get to share moments of vulnerability and how it's helped me. So just you saying that without really knowing much more than that, it really does hit home. And like you said, especially now with what the entire human race has been through in the past 2 years, and just opening up to who we are and being okay and not being afraid of being judged, right? Just being ourselves and leaning into that. So wonderful pearls of wisdom, wonderful pearls of wisdom. Be you, be vulnerable. And that helps us be an incredible, tremendous leader. What else? What else can we share with the audience? I love all of these elements. Is there any other element to your secret sauce?
Well, again, I'll make it an athletic metaphor, right? Everybody wants to drink the Gatorade, right? So, in response, I'm allowed to use that. But I mean, right, how do you get them to buy in, right? And again, in my leadership, which one of the things I enjoy, it's constantly changing, right? So if you think about, we have 300 plus student athletes, right? But there's always a graduating class and there's always an incoming class. So as I speak, and I really take pride and take time, and I do the opening, welcome back speech in August when they're all here. And some of them heard my message now 3 times, but then there's some of them hearing my message, right? The athletic director, and we do it in the arena, and we do a t-shirt, and we, everybody likes swag, right? So we have a little saying on the back, the shark way, which is our mascot, or, whatever my message is. But I guess my point is, which gets back to higher education. So you have to be a lifelong learner. You have to be a sponge, right? I'm at a social event last night. I'm part of the Boys and Girls Club, which I'm sure your audience knows across the country. It's a nationally known, proud member of the Crawford County. But I didn't know I was going to run into this certain person, which I'll leave unnamed, but I just caught myself at a social event, networking event. I'm just leaning in and listening, right? Because you cannot think everything forever. You can't. And I learned this from a lot of other great mentors. And you would probably, I think we mentioned him before, and I'm going to bring him up. I will name him and rest in peace, Mr. Tommy Lasorda. And a good paisan. And I remember he spoke a lot of time, always learn, always, this is a legendary Major League manager, World Series Hall of Famer. But here's someone who I met 20 years ago when I first started here at NSU as the baseball coach. Always seek to learn. is something that he said, and he would get into wearing the name of the front of the jersey and not the back of the jersey, meaning play for the team and not for yourself, like all those things. But my point here is continue to be a lifelong learner, and again, if you're a coach, an executive, a COO, or just someone starting out as a young professional, don't think you know everything. Like, always try to learn. Of course, there's the classroom, there's the books, there's the podcast, there's so many ways, which is great for our young professionals today, different than you and I, right? So that was our mode. But these 30-second podcasts, it catch some time, right? But when you're around other people, seek to find those people that you can learn from.
I love that. And live by that for sure. It's something, approach life and approach interactions with a beginner's mind, as if you know nothing, right? I try to look at that every day. And I love the example that you use. And of course, Tommy Lasorda, just great all around. Wow, just bless you. That is so perfect. But yes, let's approach life and always learn, never stop learning. I love to share that too, Michael, when I visit with universities and I get to speak to them and say, after you graduate, after you leave here, you probably can't wait to not study for a test, but always know there's so much information available today that I didn't have, right? There's YouTube. There are so many channels, like you just said, so many opportunities for us to bring it in and just always keep that beginner's mind. I love that. So my friend, you mentioned swag, you mentioned, going to networking events. Do you have something that you wear that helps you feel confident or helps you feel great, particular like a clothing piece or an accessory? How does it make you feel when you put on something like that gives you that power?
Well, I love that. And I'm going to use that. If I can steal that, because it really puts people on the spot, because there's always something, right? So I'm going to just use something, and I guess I'm not going to name the brand unless I can get a
plug, an affiliate, right?
Yeah, well, maybe we can. So this is the Loci bracelet, but it resonated with me. I've been wearing one for about 4 or 5 years, and the meaning behind it is to find balance, to stay humble, and to stay hopeful. And I think if you find that balance, so this is my reminder, right? And believe it or not, I used to wear a rubber band. I mean, for me, when I was playing or coaching, there was always something, right? It could be a family memory, a family heirloom of my grandmother's, wherever I was in that stage of life, right? So I usually make a pretty good, and I think I'm on a 3-year run. And I definitely wasn't because of what we're going through, but how appropriate is just to keep things in perspective. Stay humble and stay hopeful, right? There's good and bad. To use my baseball analogy, you win some and you lose some, and some get rained out. You win some, you lose some, and some get rained out. And isn't that life? I mean, it's another, baseball analogy, but sports are like life. But to me, that's my not article of clothing, but my accessory that I remind myself each morning and when I put it on.
I love it. It is so perfect. It just drives you with intention every single day. Every single day. I love that. It helps you stay focused on that balance. Wow. Oh my goodness. We could go on. And in fact, please don't be surprised if I ask you to come back. Please don't. I'm just putting it out there. But if someone wanted to continue the conversation with you, if someone wanted to say, hey, Michael, I just think you're great. I want to learn from you. Where's the best place for people to find you?
I would say two ways, Francesca. And again, I enjoyed it. I'd be happy and honored if I was invited back anytime. So I'm sure we can continue to have some fun. But the best way would be either through LinkedIn or Twitter. You can share that. I don't mind doing that. I absolutely love speaking, especially with young professionals, as I refer to them, people in a leadership. And we're all leaders. We're all leaders. It doesn't matter your title. It doesn't matter. The grounds crew people, the graduate assistants, but I'd be absolutely happy to do this more, to have someone reach out to me personally, give me some time, because I have a little bit of a busy schedule, but I really am in that stage where I don't mind sharing a story. I'm not sharing my story, and I'm not getting older, I'm getting wiser, as I like to tell myself. And again, you're inspiring what you're doing with your podcast, and got introduced through my brother Chris, to you and to your podcast. So again, I'd love to be part of it. And if anybody else wants to, hear from me or reach out to me, I'm happy to oblige.
Thank you so much. I am so honored. I am so grateful that you took time out of your busy schedule today to just help others. So, Michael, I hope you have an incredible day. And thank you again. This was incredible.
Thank you, Francesca. Thank you all.